Hi friends, welcome to this video on nominal interest rate and effective interest rate. One of the most common mistake done by the investor while choosing the bank's fixed deposit is they don't really understand the ideal difference between nominal interest rate and effective interest rate. They will be attracted towards the nominal interest rate which is offered by the bank. Suppose you have rupees 1 lakh today which you want to invest in a fixed deposit. You are left with three choices of bank. Bank A is offering an interest rate of 10.01% per annum. Bank B is offering an interest rate of 9.75% per annum. And Bank C is offering an interest rate of 9.7% per annum. Though the interest rate offered by all these three banks are marginally different from one another, it creates a significant impact when it comes to wealth creation of investors. Those factors are decided by the frequency of compounding. You can able to see the highlighted cells over here for all these three banks where the compounding factor is different from one another. Bank A is coming with yearly compounding, Bank B is offering quarterly compounding, Bank C is offering a monthly compounding. So always choosing a best interest rate offered by banks is going to be like choosing the right apple from the basket of apple. Now let us move on to the calculation part to understand the ideal difference between these two interest rates. This video also will help you how to calculate these interest rates in a very simple and efficient manner using Microsoft Excel. So this is the stated interest rate as we discussed in the case study over here. Bank A, Bank B and Bank C offering their interest rates. Assume you are investing this 1 lakh rupee in all these three bank fixed deposit for a tenure of 1 year. These are the nominal interest rate given by the banks. This is a graphical representation of the above table. All we need to do is compute the effective interest rate before coming to the conclusion which bank is offering the highest interest rate. For which, as we have seen in the previous discussion, what makes the effective interest rate is more prominent is the frequency of compounding. The frequency of compounding offered by all these three banks will make a significant impact on the investor's wealth. Let us interpret this by doing this calculation. The frequency of compounding for Bank A is 1 because it is a yearly compounding. Since the maturity happens down the line 1 year, the compounding happens only once. What is the present value? Present value is nothing but the invested principal. Here in this example we are investing rupees 1 lakh into this fixed deposit. Since it is a cash outflow, you need to mention minus prefix to it. Rate. A rate is nothing but the stated interest rate offered by the bank, which you need to divide it with by frequency of compounding. 10.01% divided by 1. What is NPR? NPR is nothing but the time frame of this investment. Time frame of this investment is 1 year. But you need to multiply the frequency of compounding with the tenure of the fixed deposit to arrive at the NPR. This makes sense while you are doing the calculation for Bank B and Bank C. Now you need to compute FV. You need to write a FV function to arrive at the maturity value of this fixed deposit down the line 1 year, for which you need to capture the respective value to the variables to arrive at the maturity value of the Bank A fixed deposit. 10.01%. NPR is 1. We don't have any PMT. The present value is the initial amount which is invested into the fixed deposit. So your 1 lakh of money which is invested into Bank A fixed deposit giving you a maturity value of 1,10,000 rupees approximately. Now you need to do a reverse calculation of analyzing and bringing all the compounding factor in one page to compute the effective annual yield, for which you need to write a rate function. NPR is. Now you need to be very careful because we are bringing all the compounding factor together, which means we are arriving at a interest rate on a per annum basis. So you need to put 1 as NPR rather than considering the frequency of compounding here. There is no PMT. The present value is minus 1 lakh. and the future value, which is the maturity value, is 1,10,000. Just close the bracket to arrive at the effective annual yield. This is the effective interest rate for bank A. I'm sure that you will be guessing it. There is no much difference between the stated interest rate and the effective interest rate for bank A, because there is no continuous compounding happens for bank A. The compounding happens only once, so it doesn't have any impact over here, but it makes sense when it comes to the calculation for bank B and bank C as well. Let us see how it works. The frequency of compounding for bank B is 4, because it is a quarterly compounding. It is a quarterly compounding, and the tenure of this bank is 1 year. So there is a chance of 4 frequency of compounding to happen in 1 year. What is the present value? It is as similar as bank A. The rate of interest will make a big difference. It is 9.75% divided by the frequency of compounding. Since it's a quarterly compounding, we are converting the annual interest rate into quarterly interest rate. Similarly, you need to do it for NPER also. Since it is a quarterly compounding, you need to multiply the frequency of compounding with tenure to arrive at the NPER. NPER is nothing but the time frame of this investment. What is the future value? Future value, again you need to write the similar function, for which you can just press Ctrl C and Ctrl V to arrive at the maturity value for bank B as well. Similarly, you can write a rate function for bank C to arrive at the effective interest rate for bank B. NPER, this is the common place where you can commit a mistake again. NPER is 1 because we are bringing the compounding factor at one pace. We are converting the quarterly interest into a yearly interest. There is no PMT. The present value is minus 1 lakh. The future value is 1,10,112 rupees. Close bracket. So now you can see the ideal difference.